that it does not make a big deal, but I do think that the announcing is a big deal. It's a big part of the product. When you have an announce team that you cannot stand listening to, either you mute the television, and if you mute the television, you're not going to know what's going on, if they're previewing something or if they're promoting something, or the viewer's going to shut the TV off. I mean, sometimes it used to be when I turned it on and I heard Booker T open his mouth, I'd shut the TV off. I couldn't do it. Now, I did hear Booker T on SmackDown on Thanksgiving. He sounded better. I know he's been all away from the broadcast position. He's been doing the pre-show stuff. But Booker T sounded pretty good. Or better than what he sounded like, let's put it that way. I know Scott Hudson, who used to do WCW, said Michael Cole couldn't call the one-horse race. I think Cole is good. But again, it comes to Vince and Kevin Dunn in the announcers' ears, micromanaging the whole broadcast. I do think that no matter what, whether that happened or not, JBL is horrendous. He's god-awful. He's right up there with Lord Alfred Hayes as the most annoying, awful wrestling announcer. Not only in the WWF or the WWE, but in wrestling. Oh my God, Sean Mooney sucked too, remember him? I think the best Raw announcer that they have is Byron Saxton. I think he's gotten better since he had to do the rest of Raw solo. I think he's gotten better since Vince threw him to the Wolves. I love Byron Saxton. On SmackDown, I love Rich Brennan, and I love Lawler. I do think SmackDown's the better show because I can ease in on SmackDown. Raw, A, is too long, and B, I cannot stand Cole and JBL, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I feel like the two big wrestling promotions in the United States have the worst announcing. Because overall, WWE's announcing is god-awful. And TNA, Josh Matthews and the Pope, may be one of the worst broadcast teams of all time. I like Corey Graves. First of all, not like. I love Corey Graves on NXT, but I don't know when they're going to bring him up. I know he does pre-show stuff. Corey Graves would be good on Raw. See, if Saxton could do play-by-play, I'd have Saxton and Graves. And that's another thing. I do not like three-man broadcast teams. I never did. WCW really was the only exception, with Shivani, Zbyszko, Tenay, or Shivani, Heenan, and Zbyszko, or Shivani, Tenay, and Heenan. That worked. And Vince, JR, and King was good well, but besides that, three-man booths in wrestling have never worked. Ever. They rarely work in professional sports. And in wrestling, you're just talking all over them. But I like the guy that does NXT. I love him. Not NXT. New Japan. Kevin Kelly on Ring of Honor. Love him. But WWE's state of announcing is just, it's horrible. Absolutely horrible. And that makes a difference. And the WWE, think about this, folks, has the best announcer on staff in the last 20 years. And before I say something and the internet wrestling community starts going crazy, they don't have Jim Ross on staff. So throw that out. But they do have the best announcer in wrestling in the last 20 years on staff, and he's not announcing. And his name is Joey Styles. But, let's see, Styles was the voice of ECW, so it makes sense to just bury him on WWE.com. Gotta love Vince. NFL picks tomorrow. Thanks so much for the interaction today. I'm Chris Soriano. You have been listening to the Chris Soriano Podcast worldwide on the Soriano Network.
Man, I dig inner monologues. Hello, hello, oh look, a fillet of fish, just sitting here in my mind being all delicious. Hey!
That's my sandwich.
What? How did you get in my inner monologue?
Doors open, give it back.
Man, get your own invisible sandwich.
Any day is a great day for a filet of fish sandwich. And right now at McDonald's, you can get 2 filet of fish sandwiches for only $3.33. For limited time only, prices and participation may vary.
We're here asking people from all over what they think of Lipton green tea. Let's hear what people from Texas have to say. How about China? Germany? How about people from the North Pole? Or Mars? What about mimes? Oh, right. People with their jaws wired shut?